All right, I'm still trying to track down the best pronunciation of Paul Mbiya's name. Perhaps that is it. I would really like Oregon to get this guy. I don't know that he's ready to contribute this year. Top priority should still be Nate Biddle coming back to the Ducks. We are in day, I don't even know what, of awaiting his announcement with regards to entering the NBA draft or not. He will not transfer. He's either going to the draft or coming back to Oregon. I really hope it's the second one. And as I mentioned before, and kind of have to remind myself, the timeline for adding impact transfers in basketball is very different than football. TJ Bamba, Oregon's starting 2/3 last year, was brought in on May 2nd. So there's still a hefty amount of time and a lot of guys in the portal. And remember, you can go into the portal only during certain windows. Like the portal's open now for football players. You can come out of the portal anytime. You can only go in if it's in a specified window. If your coach has left, you have a 30-day window to go into the portal. Or if you are a grad transfer, you can go in anytime as well. So bringing this back to basketball, though, the comparison between Mbiya and Folly Dante are too numerous to count. So I tweeted out, or retweeted rather, his highlight reel that I got tagged in. And I'd seen a couple of clips of him, and he's an intriguing physical prospect. Here's how similar these two guys are. Mbiya is 6'10", 220 pounds. He's a center. By the way, shout out Oregon softball. They're number 6 in the country. Melissa Lombardi's got the squad playing really, really well. Saw that comment the other day. Hey, can softball get a shout out? Yeah, softball deserves a shout out. They are playing some serious, but they're playing better than baseball right now. Who's doing fine, but not as well. Softball looks legit. Absolutely legit. So just something to note. Anyway, Mbiya is 6'10", 220 pounds. And Folly Dante, when he came to Oregon, 6'11", 230 pounds. Now, if you go watch the highlight reel that I retweeted and I made this remark, I cannot in the strongest terms express to you how much I thought I was just watching N'Faly Dante highlights. Not just the size, okay? The physical traits, he's a little bit newer to basketball. You can see that with some of the ways that he makes post moves or the way that he just kind of moves on the court, but he is big, he is strong, and he knows that he is big and strong. And that was always kind of my favorite part about Dante, was he'd just get down low and, Nate Biddle's going to hit a turnaround fadeaway or a soft baby hook. Sometimes Dante's just going to move you out of the way, okay? That's the biggest difference between Dante and Biddle, who of course been Oregon's 2 starting 5s in the last couple of seasons. Biggest difference, Biddle's not moving anybody out of the way. He's just skillfully going to score in other ways and has greater potential as a scorer than Dante does. Dante's a better rebounder and one-on-one defender, and they're both elite shot blockers. So Mbiya is someone who moves. He even made the same sorts of moves. Like there was one where he gets by a guy and he goes and throws down this reverse dunk. He's very athletic, by the way, just like Dante. He goes and throws down this reverse dunk, and I swear 50 different highlights of Dante doing the same thing during his career at Oregon, particularly in last year's NCAA tournament run to the round of 32 and very nearly the Sweet 16. I was just having the best of flashbacks to that. And I mean, the way he puts up hook shots, the way he moves guys out of the way, the athleticism to throw down dunks, the shot blocking, the way he can move his feet. This guy who is playing internationally at the moment for a team owned by Tony Parker is, getting, I'd presume, some solid experience in coaching, I would hope, but still is definitely very raw. This is not someone who I think would come in and be Oregon's starting center. I think one day he could be Dante, but remember, Dante wasn't the full-fledged version of himself right away in his Oregon career either. So it took him a little while. I think it would take Mbiya a while as well, but to say that I am intrigued by what this guy can bring to the table, I could not have been more giddy watching his highlight reel and just go, it's Dante. This is new Dante. Size, athleticism, mannerisms, play style. It's all there. all the potential's there. And I bet if you asked Dana Altman and he told you honestly, he'd say the same thing. We'd see a lot of Dante. A lot of, we'd get that old gristly voice. Well, we'd see a lot of Dante. See a lot of Dante in him. Like, fantastic. I'd be totally here for it. Question came in from DC about basketball. This could be a mailbag question, but I'm not sure if it's a full topic, but I'm asking anyways. Well, in your defense, it's not a full topic, but it's part of the topic. With UO basketball's transfer cycle starting off pretty slow with no big names, do you think Altman and Lanning ever use each other as recruiting tools when it comes to getting into certain areas across the country? Or do you think they just stay 100% focused on their sport and are just employed at the same school and that's it? Yeah, I'm not really certain how cross-promotional recruiting would really work. Getting to certain areas across the country. But both of these guys have demonstrated a high ability to recruit in the last several years. I don't think there's any coordination between the two. I think the one area, frankly, that popped in my head when I read your question, DC, was first of all, I agree with the second part of your question that they're just 100% focused on their sport and they're just employed at the same school and that's it. But the one thing that did pop into my mind is Kendra Harrison, who is a class of 2026 recruit, who is also a top 100 basketball recruit. He's a 5-star tight end. He has shut down his recruitment. He's coming to Oregon. All the reports have been that he's going to play both football and basketball, and Oregon hasn't had a guy do that very seriously in quite a while. It's a really difficult thing to do because football season runs into, hopefully, should be every year, December or January. Okay, well, January is when conference play begins. Non-conference play begins in November. I can't imagine, unless Harrison is just the ultimate, he's an incredibly athletic guy. Elgin Cook type on the basketball court, just kind of a 6'7" athletic basketball player. That's the position he plays. And who's not much of a shooter. I'm not sure how that could work. Like if Oregon basketball's got a game, non-conference schedules can be different. Let's say they even have a game on Wednesday at home against like a Kent State. Is Lanning okay with him playing and getting ready for that game, playing in that game, and then going back to football practice on Thursday, but practicing with basketball Monday, Tuesday in the lead up to Wednesday? I can't imagine that'd be the case. And so then what you'd be looking at is, let's say Oregon has the sort of season I think they will be capable of having in the 26th season when Harrison comes in. If they go to the national championship game and Harrison's on the roster and he's an impact player or any kind of role player on that team, would he then hop over to basketball? Because then, that ends on January 20th. Can he then go into March? Like, how quickly could he get ready to be on the basketball court? I don't know. I don't know how all that's going to work. That just popped in my head. But to your point, no, I don't think there's any, cross-promotional recruiting. I don't really know where that would work because the two worlds don't intersect a whole heck of a lot. But hey, I love the question anyway. Keep them coming. YouTube comments, Twitter, become an insider, all that good stuff. Appreciate everyone listening. I will see you next time. And until then, hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and go Ducks.